We're going to look at Rahab and uncomfortable sins today. Thanksgiving and Christmas, opportunities for us to see friends, family, maybe go to some fun or uncomfortable office parties for the holidays, however you fall in that. But we often clean ourselves up for this time of the year. We often try and present ourselves as well and put together even when we're not. One of the things that we do in this time is present ourselves as though we don't have major struggles or issues, even though they're beneath the surface. That's one thing I love about the story of Rahab. When you see it in the book of Joshua, is you see that Rahab, she's in this uncomfortable sin of prostitution. It's something we don't like to think about, we don't like to talk about, but the truth of the matter is that she was living in direct sin. Contrast with what God would have for her. But when she saw the hope of renewal and being reconciled to God, she jumped at it. She didn't abound and dwell in her sin and try and meld God to fit some sort of worldview that says sin is okay and God's okay with my sin. She rejected her sin and went towards God. This time of the year is a good time for us to reflect on our walk, as we've talked about. It's a good time to reflect on if we're being faithful, but it's also a good time for us to reflect on, have we made excuses for our sins? Have we made excuses for sins that we're uncomfortable with or that even would make others uncomfortable? That we don't want to acknowledge or that we don't want to talk about, but we do need to address them because God is holy. And this time of the year is a great picture of the gospel of Jesus Christ. We get to reflect on that during this time of the year. And if you don't know that gospel, it's that He redeems those who come to Him. It is through Christ alone that you can be redeemed. So if you're stuck in habitual sin, uncomfortable sin that's just messy, like all of us have been at some point, and some of us are still wrestling with some of those sins, just go to the cross of Christ. He is the one that can make you white as snow. It is clear that the gospel of Jesus Christ covers a multitude of sins and even the uncomfortable ones that we don't want to talk about and we don't want to acknowledge. Be washed as white as snow by the blood of Christ and pray for snow this holiday season.